Podcast Amsterdam.
Welcome everyone to the Amsterdam Film Show.
So today we're going to be very different to our last show. Today we're going to be sort of reviewing cinemas and their programs, discussing what the state of cinemas are going to be like now, because it's the summer season. That's traditionally blockbuster season. But looking
It's so weird that it's gone.
Yeah, looking at all the new releases coming out, you don't have really any of them. I mean, Christopher Nolan, that was supposed to be the big
It keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed.
Classic Nolan. I saw that. Did you see that tweet? The closer it comes to the release of Tenet, the further it gets away.
He's using it in his favor, of course.
Great marketing from Nolan.
Exactly, because it kind of matches the film. It's super funny. Anyway, this is Elliot Bloom talking to you now, and I am Kikomora. We're going to share with you the new releases in the Netherlands, review some of them, and talk about special events here in Amsterdam, everything in English. And what else do we got for today, man?
So, like I said, we'll be giving you our picks of some of the new programs cinemas have released for this summer, which look fantastic. This is sort of a return to the classical films, a lot of films you may not have had the chance to see or haven't had the chance to see on big screens.
Yeah, man, that's something I really love that Amsterdam does.
Yeah, and then sort of like the broader topic of it all, how cinemas are going to cope with the lack of new content.
That's going to be interesting, but I think it is a perfect opportunity to revive these classics. You're right.
Yeah.
I just hope that someone like puts like The Eye or maybe Jurassic Park on the big one, you know? Like,
yeah.
That would be fantastic. But also we have our last chance to watch.
Yeah, The Wild Goose Lake. Talking of classics, is maybe not necessarily a classic, but it makes you want to rediscover classics because so it's a neo-noir crime thriller, Chinese film from the director Yinnan Diao, and it's a gangster on the run, sacrifices everything for his family. Sort of a common story, perhaps, or a very sort of usual thriller you'd expect, apart from the empowering of female characters, especially towards the end. But what I liked was the aesthetic of it all. It pays a lot of homage to the German Expressionist era, and the use of shadows and lighting is just sublime. So it's a great way to
like kind of like the film noir from Fritz Lang.
Yeah, and sort of like the the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Yeah,
and sort of the use of shadows. It's a great way to dip your toes into the water of German Expressionism, and sort of it makes you want to go back and rewatch these films or discover them if you haven't seen them already.
That's great. The Wild Goose Lake, that's one of the movies that keeps eluding me.
Yeah, you got to watch it soon.
Well, it is my last chance. So it's going to be...
It's on at the Lab, so they're still running it all the way through July, I think. I think they're the only cinema to do so.
Okay, so that's Lab 111 in West and the AFS Museum, right?
Yeah. So I definitely recommend getting along to that one.
Podcast Amsterdam.
So, welcome back to the Amsterdam Film Show. It's time to talk classics, to talk about the new wave of bringing back stuff post-corona. There's no new content coming out, so dusting out the classics. What do we got, man?
Well, so Lab have just got a great selection. I don't know if you've seen... They're really good at doing Lab suggestions where they involve...
Yeah, I suggest every year Terry Gilliam, like a shitload of Terry Gilliam, and they don't never play it. And it's like you're the perfect theater to show Terry Gilliam, man.
Gosh.
Cycle
maybe next year, always.
Yeah, maybe next year.
But I mean, instead of that, they've got Adaptation by Spike Jonze.
Amazing. Kind of one of the only movies with Nicolas Cage that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, weirdly, they've got a few of Nicolas Cage on here. I don't know why. Whether
they fucking love Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I don't know whether there's a resurgence of people liking Nicolas Cage. Have you seen the Community episode where they explore?
Yeah.
That's a great one because it's just confusing whether Nicolas Cage is a great actor or not.
The show does make a great point.
Yeah,
like is he good? Is he bad? I don't know. He's both. He's neither.
Exactly.
I remember, and lately one of the latest works that he did was Mandy.
Yeah,
and I watched it in Lab 111.
Okay.
And it was. Have you seen that?
No.
Okay, that's Nicolas Cage squared. You know, Extremely Nicolas Cage. Anyway, so they have that from Spike Jonze.
Yeah, they got Barbarella by Vadim. Have you seen that?
It's like this sci-fi with a blonde girl. I've never seen that movie, actually.
And then Blow Up by Antonioni, a classic.
Another one that I haven't seen, so it's a good chance to watch.
And then, of course, Casablanca.
Casablanca, like...
Yeah, I mean, I've yet to seen it, but I've always been waiting to see it on the big screen rather than on my laptop, and I think now's the best time.
If you like movies, it's kind of like one of those movies that you have to see.
Yeah.
At least once in your life.
Have you seen it?
No. So...
Maybe we got to go.
We should. Actually, we should. Let's go see that because it's going to be a good experience to watch it on a big screen.
Yeah.
We got Dogtooth from Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yeah, who also did The Lobster.
Yeah, and Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Favourite. And
so he's got a good body of work.
Yeah, I think this is his first one, and it's actually the only one that I haven't seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which you heard.
One of the songs. We have another one coming up, actually.
Yeah. And then Harold and Maude by...
Never seen that.
No, neither have I. And then, The Big Lebowski.
Love it.
Yeah. Did you see... So they were supposed to release the sort of like sequel to it this year.
The Jesus. Yeah.
But I'm guessing that must have been postponed.
No. It came out.
Did it?
It came, I think it was like VOD release.
Oh, really? So
yeah. It's around there. I'm pretty sure that you can find it.
And have you seen The Fool?
The Fall, Tarzan Singh. Yes.
Yeah.
I watched it a long time ago. A really good friend of mine, Raul Lucero, he recommended it to me years ago. And he gave me like this bootleg copy of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it coming. He said like, check it out. It has really good colors and beautiful cinematography. Just watch it.
Yeah.
And I was blown away.
Yeah. The Red Shoes by Emmerich Pressburger, Michael Powell.
Never seen that.
No, but I mean they're both big directors. So
yeah,
The Virgin Suicide by Sofia Coppola.
Haven't seen it.
I think it may be her debut. She of course did.
I think it was
Marie Antoinette and Lost in Translation.
Great movies, both of them.
Vertigo. I mean,
Vertigo. Yeah,
you said it before that Amsterdam are very good at playing people like Hitchcock, and who was the other one you said? Maybe Francis Ford Coppola. They sort of do reruns every year.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. Well, I have a poster of Vertigo like on my living room, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And Wild at Heart by David Lynch.
I haven't seen that.
Me neither.
So, but yeah, a great collection of classics, which sort of leads to my point. This is now the time to be watching these films on the big screen.
Yeah, because sometimes you're not going to get a second chance, man. Last year, I got to see Dial M for Murder and Rear Window at Rialto.
Yeah.
And Dial M for Murder was on 3D.
Oh, wow.
It was so weird, but it was excellent, man.
Yeah.
So you have to take these chances. Like Back to the Future was in the cinemas a couple of weeks ago, and I freaking missed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got to see Shawshank Redemption, actually, which has been on a few cinemas, but also the Uitkijk.
Yeah,
it's like the 25th year anniversary.
The Uitkijk.
Yeah, the Uitkijk. Sorry. Those Dutch lessons are coming along.
Yeah. Bijna daar.
Have you seen Shawshank?
I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I know it's about it. I know it's based on this book by Stephen King.
Yeah.
But it's one of those classic movies that everybody loves that I just, by chance, haven't been able to see.
I was the same as you until I saw it. And I think I was a little disappointed because everyone was like, oh, this is the classic film. This is the great film. And it's like, it's a great story. It's a solid story. But I feel it's better as a book. Or like, it's just like, it's fantastic. It's really well written, but not much else goes on, I'd say.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Maybe I've watched too many artistic films as of late, and so always expecting something a bit more. But yeah.
No, I totally understand that. Well, I'll have to check it out.
And then also they're showing Persona, which another classic. That
Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah.
If you've never seen a movie from this man, like check it out. It's something worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
It will open you up to like a completely different way of watching cinema.
Yeah.
He's one of those directors that like in film school is like, watch this guy do his thing.
Yeah, he's sort of the go-to. And then Zabriskie Point by Michelangelo Antonioni again. Antonioni, sorry.
I've never seen this.
No, neither have I, but it looks really good. And then Gummo. I haven't heard of it.
Gomo Harmonikorin. Yeah. It has. I was trying to find one of the songs. Well, the opening song for this, because it's kind of like a children's song, Cock-a-doodle-doo. And it's a very weird movie, man. It's Harmonikorin. Like I think this is his first work, or amongst the first. And it's raw, it's rancid, it's raunchy, it's you know how he likes to show like the scum of society and how they live their like weird little lives. Yeah, it's very weird, but it's good. I recommend it.
And also El Topo by Alejandro
Jodorowsky. Yeah.
Have you seen this as well?
This one I saw. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. They asked us to watch it in film school. I kind of fell asleep because we were smoking weed, and I think I have vague memories of this, but I remember like sitting with my friends and smoking a joint and watching El Topo. But that's the extent of my memory of that experience.
But I mean, these are just two cinemas out of the many independent.
Exactly. Check out Rialto. Check out Studio K. Check out Criterion. They're all gonna have like really fun stuff.
And the other one, have you ever heard of Jerry's Underground Cinema?
Yes. It's like an email thread that you get. I'm in the email thread, but I've never been.
So it's run by this American guy who lives in Amsterdam, and he sort of does screenings in all these underground venues of sort of B movies that he collects, and they're sort of fantastic because they're films you've never heard of, probably never seen. And
probably will never see again.
Yeah, exactly. And they actually turn out to be, a lot of them are actually really, really good. And he also did just before Corona, he did a series on Sinkinki films, the Spanish, it was a Spanish movement. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but it was all to do with sort of like the heroin taking and sort of the gritty kind of side of it and the criminal aspect.
How do you spell it?
I think it's like Quinqui. Kinky.
Kinky.
Yeah. And it's sort of, if you look at the history as well, they sort of glamorize the criminals, and the criminals then become the actors of their own stories. And then, it's really weird.
So this is like the underground, very local movement.
Yeah, exactly.
Of rebellion. Yeah. That's super interesting, guys. Like, it's still a great time to watch movies.
Jeffrey's
Underground. Kathy's telling us with the sign. Well, sorry, Jeffrey.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you think the sort of pros and cons of all this returning to classics are going to be?
Oof.
Do you think it's going to scare some of the more newer cinema goers away, or do you think it's going to attract?
I think it's going to attract people that are used to go to the Pathé to watch whatever's new.
Yeah.
To revisit some movies that everybody loves talking about, but they haven't seen.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it's going to go. So now it's time to debate. What do you think? Tell us what the debate is again, Elliot.
So it's all about sort of the state of cinemas and whether this return to old content and sort of focusing on classical films is the way to survive, or sort of survive through lockdown and sort of negate this whole obstacle of the lack of content that's going to not be around for a while now.
And what I said was like, I think it's a perfect chance to bring new goers to these independent cinemas.
Yeah, and whether this will be a trend that continues or whether people will sort of revert back to old habits straight away when they get the opportunity to.
Yeah, because on the side of the cinemas, they've done this regularly over the years, like showing classics. But it's never been the case that the general public, doesn't really have anything new to watch. Yeah. So I think that maybe the Pathé's cinemas are going to be affected a little bit, because the only reason you go to the Pathé is because you can watch the new Star Wars on a huge screen. Yeah. And
I wish I took a look actually at what they're showing at the moment, because it'd be quite interesting.
It would be interesting. I'm gonna open their website right now.
But yeah, it's just, I think it is the right way to go currently, and it's a great opportunity sort of to discover these films that you never get to watch in the big screen. You always think, oh, if only I was there at the time it was released or around during that period, then you'd wish you'd gone. But now there's the opportunity to go now. I think a lot of blockbusters are going to struggle, or I think there's going to be less big budget productions in general. So sort of revisiting these classical films, which often have smaller budgets, or not always, but a lot of them sometimes do have smaller budgets. It's always good to learn what they do differently or how they make use of what they got to sort of create these great films.
Yeah, and just like discover something new.
Yeah.
And it's another chance for also these independent movies that usually go completely like nobody if they come out at the same time as, for example, Mad Max or Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be completely ignored.
Yeah.
So I think it's also a chance for these small movies, small classics to be rediscovered. I'm looking at the agenda for the Pathé Arena, for example, and they're doing the same thing but with big blockbusters.
Really?
Yeah. So we got here Mad Max Fury Road, which, to be honest, I would go to Pathé Arena to watch that. They have Dunkirk. They have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Gosh.
Black Panther, and they have like stuff like a Boss, which is like a comedy movie, I assume.
Yeah.
Onward, the new Pixar, Interstellar.
Oh,
That would be interesting to watch it on the IMAX.
Yeah.
Selma, what is this? The Minions or something? Oh,
Okay.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, man.
Oh, that was a great film.
I never saw that in a big
Have
screen.
you not?
No.
Oh, no, on the big
I
screen,
saw,
yeah. I've never seen it on the big
exactly. I saw it until it was like available at home. And I have not a small TV, not super huge, and a nice sound. But to be honest, to watch this on a massive screen, like, I would consider paying 14 euros. La La Land, The Invisible Man, some other animation random movies that I don't know, The Gentleman, My Spy. So, okay.
So they do it, and they seem to have a good selection. But it's interesting, they're being very precise with what they're picking.
Yeah, that's true. And although they also have a couple of new stuff like The King of Staten Island. Queen and Slim. It's on a Pathé Arena, which
I saw that last night, actually.
Yeah, how is it?
It's good, but I don't know. Having seen after doing our show, it's really good, and basically the cinematography is amazing because the director is actually she's a female who directs all of Beyonce's music videos. So there's a lot of artistic elements in it, and it's her first feature debut, and in that aspect, it's really good.
This is her first feature?
Yeah.
Okay.
In that aspect, it's really good. And the story is, of course, very timely. It's just, I don't know where it sits in sort of how much it adds to the discourse and in that respect.
Okay.
But I definitely worth watching, and it's very consumable.
That's a pretty solid opinion, to be honest. Yeah. All right. I think it's on Vitamin Cineville.
I'm not sure. I watched it at the cinema.
Check it out. Which one?
The Outkike, is that right?
Yeah, the Outkike. Okay, so it's at the Outkike and it's at Pathé Arena.
Yeah.
So if you have Cineville and you're in Amsterdam, just go to the Outkike. It's a really cool little cinema. I think the oldest surviving cinema in Amsterdam.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, also, the other dilemma is how do you, obviously with your busy schedule as well, but with great sunny weather, not as of late, but I mean, July, obviously a sunny season, how do you sort of decide whether to go to the cinema or to just enjoy the great weather? Because it's a problem I've been having. I look at so many great films being shown and I'm like, but really, should I be inside right now?
Yeah. I think that's kind of I think you could do that in the evening.
Yeah.
Go to the cinema in the evening and go swimming in the Amstel during the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I think it's a good opportunity. I think there's enough content.
Yeah.
There's enough movies. Like, for every movie that you've seen, there's 15 or not. There's hundreds that you haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
So, get a Cineville pass, or check out Vitamin Cineville.
Yeah.
Check out Netflix for movies you haven't seen. Go to the cinema. Go see Vertigo. If you've never seen Vertigo, go see that beauty of a film. If you've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you just want to hang out with your friends, maybe smoke a joint and watch it. It's super fun. It's from the 80s. It has what's his name?
Oh, That is really going to bug me.
Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
Yeah. You could remember from Godzilla as well. He was like the thing for a while, especially in the 80s. So check that out.
What I say is July and August is a great time to sort of dip your toes into these classics, and then you'll find yourself going down a rabbit hole, never wanting to come out of it.
Yeah. Exactly. And wait for the next ones, and maybe like tweet at the cinemas what you want to watch, and I'm pretty sure that they will listen sometimes. Yeah. So Jurassic Park, please, Jurassic Park, for the love of God, play Jurassic Park.
Podcast Amsterdam.
So now maybe it's a good time to sort of explore what we may think the next possible trends in cinema are going to be, because I personally think coronavirus has almost brought a halt to superhero films in general. I mean, they were sort of reaching their end of the peak, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know if you disagree, maybe, but also it's going to be really hard to make the big budget productions that these films incorporate or take to make. It's going to be really hard to make them.
Yeah, I think the pandemic has completely kind of screwed with big productions. It really screwed with the film world. So I don't know, man. On one hand, I agree. Like, I think these big budgets with hundreds of people in the crew, it's gonna be a lot harder to pull off.
But then equally, it's also a safe bet because they do generate a lot of money. But then, only when cinemas are open will they be able to generate a lot of money. So
yeah, but actually, I think that by percentages, I may be wrong, but it is my belief that horror movies are kind of like the genre that gets the most revenue because it's like super cheap to make.
Yeah.
And people fucking love it. And everybody watches it, and it makes like movies like Annabelle.
Yeah.
Or like Ouija. Yeah. They're like $15 million to make, and they make sometimes hundreds of millions.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a rise in horror films, especially with like coronavirus not necessarily as an explicit topic, but sort of an undercurrent of many?
I hope so, and I also fear it because
it could
it's the typical cash grab.
Yeah, be very contrived.
So we may have like the origins of Ouija or shit like that, or we're gonna get a little bit more smart stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to call it smart, but it's something that requires you to think a little bit more while watching.
Yeah.
Kind of like the latest, what comes to mind right now is The Lodge.
Okay.
It's about, most of the movie's 3 characters in one house.
Okay.
And
similar to Cabin in the Woods?
You'd think that, but no.
Okay.
So it's about this kind of like a single dad with 2 kids, and he has a new girlfriend, and the kids hate the girlfriend.
Okay.
And so they all go to a cabin in the woods. Yes.
Yeah.
But then the dad says like, okay, I gotta work. I'm gonna be away for 2 days in the city. So it's so the girl stays with the kids, and the kids hate her, and it's like more of a psychological thing.
Okay.
It's super interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I think it's a really, really worthy movie, and super easy to shoot.
Yeah.
Super small budget, probably small crew, or a lot smaller than a Avatar or something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, maybe horror films might see a rise in them. But then will people want to be sort of indulge themselves in those kind of films, having just gone through the horrors of coronavirus and pandemic?
I don't know. That's the thing. Like I'm the kind of person that when the first thing I said when the whole quarantine started was let's watch Contagion.
Yeah. Reason why people like you perhaps wanted to watch Contagion was because none of us really took lockdown as seriously, and then it became quite scary. In the peak of it all, there were similarities to Contagion.
I mean,
obviously,
on one hand,
Contagion's very extreme, a lot more extreme.
More extreme, but that there's like millions of people dying, so it will touch a fiver or two. I don't think it's the kind of movie that they should play in the cinema, but it is still the kind of movie that I would still watch because of what we lived. Because I know that it might mean something different to me than the first time I saw it.
Yeah, no,
So it's
definitely.
like watching this movie again with new eyes, but to get that intimate with the movie, to relate at that level, I think it's a could be cathartic.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. The other thing I was going to say is, so I've recently finished my thesis, as you know, on an introspection of the French New Wave, and that was all born out of sort of strict restrictions on budgets and sort of having to do it yourself. And I think there's going to be a resurgence in that, and from that, there's going to spark a lot of artistic flair. I don't necessarily know what the subject matter may be. Maybe a lot of it will probably be to do with sort of the Black Lives Matter movement, I reckon, and a lot of the politics behind that, as well as perhaps the stark realities that coronavirus has shown. But I'd also say another trend is, have you had a chance to see any of Xavier Dolan's films at Lab?
Actually, I haven't.
He is someone, I've never saw his films before, but I'm starting to become a big fan of him.
What did you see?
So I saw one of his first films, I Killed My Mother. I think it was his debut. I think he was 21 at the time. So he directs, acts in it, and does the editing, story, writing, everything. He's pretty remarkable. And then I've just seen his most recent one, Mateus and Maxime, which is also a great film. And he's very artistic in the way he tells his stories, and they're not necessarily going to be these great classical films, but I think they're films that people in this day and age want to see. And it sort of incorporates all his characters. Well, I haven't seen all his films, but from what I've seen so far, his characters are gay, and that's always a aspect of the story, but it's brought in a way that's not typical or becomes I don't want to say cliche, but you know how a lot of often before, queer films are very focused on the queer aspect, and it's an influence on the narrative itself. And while Xavier Dolan's films, the queerness is also an aspect of the film, it's not like your classic he's having to discover himself, or he's the sort of the taboos of being queer and all that. It's very normalized, and I think that's what it's quite refreshing to see it right now, I'd say.
Oh, right. No, it's someone that I only kind of knew by name.
Yeah.
And
so did I.
And it's awesome that Lab 111 here in Amsterdam West has an entire cycle of his films.
Yeah.
So, if the weather is like these past couple days that they were recording this, it's Wednesday, July 1st. It's just shitty and raining, and yesterday was terrible. So these are perfect moments to watch movies.
Yeah, I mean, he's just very artistic, and it's perhaps what people want to see now. They want to see something a bit more expressive, but also tells a story that is refreshing to see. And I think it also relates to Emma, the Spanish film, which incorporates dance. And I think you're starting to see that a lot more now, where people are trying to bring other forms of art into the film narrative and sort of use film as more of a vehicle to showcase these other forms of art, which is also being shown around Amsterdam. So I definitely recommend watching that.
Podcast Amsterdam.
It is summertime, and the weather is sometimes hot.
Yeah, or hopefully the sun will be out, because Amsterdam are going to be doing their City Beach Cinema, which I think in the Noord, which runs from the 3rd of July to the 26th of August. So go get tickets for that. It's always a great experience watching cinema outside. Yeah,
and it's kind of a solution to what you said earlier, that, okay, if the weather is hot, but I want to watch a movie, should I be inside?
Yeah, that is a
now you can have everything.
But they haven't released what films they'll be showing on what date, so it's sort of like a luck of the draw. So you buy a ticket, I think, for the day you can go, and then I think you find out later. And then I think they do various foods like sushi and burgers, which
that's kind of fun.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be a great day out, and it'd be in the sun.
You know what would be fun? If they played Jaws or something like that.
And then had like a man-made shark approach the beach.
Yeah. There's this, I don't know where it is. I'm pretty sure that it's in many parts of the world, but they do this, like, you go on a boat, and it's like an outdoor cinema as well. And then you go to like a little lake or a little pond, and everybody's on a little boat, and they show Jaws.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's like it could be, because I'm now making this up, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not the first one with the idea to have like a scuba diver with a fin, like swimming between the boats. That would be cool.
That would be cool. The other one Amsterdam are doing are drive-in cinemas. They haven't, though. This is sort of they have a website and a Facebook page, but they haven't released any official date for it or place to buy tickets. But I think it'd be a cool idea if they managed to pull it off. I don't know where they'd do it though.
I think it is a great idea for the 40% of the people of Amsterdam that actually have a car.
Yeah, maybe it should be cycling.
Yeah. I mean, there's this one drive-in in Mexico City. Well, there's two now. It's called the Autocinema Coyote, the Coyote Drive-In.
Okay.
And it was created by Mexican filmmaker Isaac Esban. He directed a couple of movies, The Incident, The Similars, and most recently Parallel with Bronze Studios.
Okay.
And he opened the first drive-in in Mexico City in like 50 years.
Wow.
And it works, man. Like they also do like walkings.
Yeah.
And in front of all the cars, there's like love seats and that kind of thing.
So have you been to them? Have you been?
Yeah. It's fun. Like it's
I always worry it's never going to be loud enough.
What they did, these guys, and it's like I think the blessing of technology is that when you come in, they give you like a little Bluetooth speaker that you put it inside of your car, and that's your audio. And I know that other drive-ins, what they do is that they transmit through a radio station. So you just tune into the radio station and it's the audio from the movie, which I think it's also really smart. I don't know what they're going to do here. But it is really fun. I remember I saw The Shining there.
Really?
I saw The Lion King. I saw all 3 Star Wars in a row in one day.
That's so cool.
And one of my films also was shown there, and that was super fun.
No.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Shout out to Isaac Esman because he made it possible there, and I think he opened another one in the US, and he's opening a third one. So it is a good business.
Yeah.
And Amsterdam is flat enough to have it, but I don't think there's enough cars.
No. I would like to say maybe there could be a resurgence in these things because they always sound great, but also then you don't want to be encouraging people to be driving everywhere and whatnot. But I think maybe outdoor cinemas could be quite a cool thing to revive, especially now because it's great for social distancing.
It is great for social distancing, and you're in your car. So if you're in a car with your friends and you just want to like trash the film or have fun and stuff like that, then you have your own privacy. And if you don't want to hear anyone else, you can also have your own privacy. So that's really cool. Yeah. And I remember when we saw Star Wars, we did hotbox the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then it was like, oh my God, we're in the middle of the drive-in. What are we going to do? Because now it's too much smoke. So we had to like open it for a bit and then close it and throughout the whole movie. Anyway, story time is over. So TBD for the date of when it's going to open, but it sounds fun. Yeah. Check it out. Let's see what they do as of movies, but I think they should do like Night of the Living Dead, and I always suggest horror movies. I just realized that. Or what would you suggest?
Maybe because there's not enough horror films.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe because it's like typical drive-in films. I think it's going to the drive-in horror movie, and you're like kissing the lady, or the lady's kissing the lady.
A very American thing, indeed.
Super American. Like I hope they bring you burgers and fries in what is it in?
On trays. No.
On trays, but skating on.
On roller skates.
On roller skates. That would be fun because I think everybody when they think about a drive-in, they picture the American experience. So, any other events that we got coming in?
No, none.
None that we know.
Yeah, other than the programs that all the cinemas are running.
I heard. Now that I think of it, I heard or I saw on Instagram something announced by the Imagine Film Festival. Okay. Like they were gonna do. I think it was called the hybrid edition. Okay. So they might do some pop-up showings in different cinemas or something. Yeah. But they're gonna do something. Stay tuned to that.
Yeah, that also reminds me. In Edit Festival, their music documentary film festival, who I did a bit of work with, they couldn't do their festival in May, obviously because of Corona. But I think they're also doing something similar with pop-ups around Melkweg and maybe Dibali. So keep an eye out for that. They tend to produce some great music documentaries.
Oh, right. It was Night at the Apollo from them.
Yeah.
Great documentary. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So music documentaries are always super fun or super sad if you've watched Amy. But I think let's go for a song and then we'll close this up.
What to watch at home.
Yeah. And about to watching at home, there's this show on Netflix called The Sinner. Have you seen it?
No.
Watch it. Do not watch the trailer.
Okay.
Every season is a different story.
Okay, interesting.
And the only thing that they have in common is like the detective.
Okay.
It's like different cases by the same detective.
So similar to True Detective, but not. Even though they changed detectives.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, like it is definitely kind of like a crime.
Yeah.
But it's super fun. First season, I saw the first episode without knowing anything about it, and I was like, okay, I did not see this coming.
Okay,
so
that's interesting.
I just told you to prepare for something, but
have you seen Dark? That was going to be my recommendation.
Well, I'm on season 1 still.
Because they've just released their 3rd season. It's incredible.
It is incredible. Like right now, I'm on the kid disappears in the cave and everything. But it's starting to become more about the characters than the disappearance. Yeah. So I'm starting to know the characters right now. It's really exciting. Yeah. I don't know why I never saw it before.
Second season sort of just adds a completely new aspect to it. So
okay,
I definitely recommend sticking with it.
Okay, so these are both on Netflix.
Yeah.
There's also the Eurovision movie with Will Ferrell. I'm curious about it. I don't expect it to be
anything special, but
if I can
get a laugh from Will Ferrell.
Exactly. Getting a laugh from Will Ferrell is sometimes fun.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies from him is Casa de mi Padre, and it's super offensive.
Okay.
And where he plays a Mexican guy, and the entire movie's in Spanish.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very
Does he speak
bizarre.
Spanish well? Or can you tell it's
good enough?
Okay.
But you can tell that he was just practicing the intonation of the lines. Yeah, but he has like a bunch of Mexican actors. It's a very bizarre movie. It's weird that it exists.
Yeah, that's
it shouldn't exist, but it's super funny.
Broadcast Amsterdam.
But thanks for listening. You'll be able to find us on our Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for a talk-only version of it. I think it's quite a success today. Managed to
I'm really happy with today. Yeah. You can listen with songs on Mixcloud or on the website. Yes. And to be honest, we do put a thought into which songs to select. So enjoy it with songs, enjoy it without songs.
There'll also be a link to the movies we discussed and sort of the links as well to the programs and the festivals coming up.
For sure.
And so thanks for listening to our July edition. There may be a second one near the end of July, perhaps.
We'll check it out, and we're also stay on the lookout for a new episode of Dan Director Scott.
Yeah,
the spin-off show that I was doing with Kathy just before Corona, where I talk with industry professionals, and we just like praise and rant about making independent movies, and everything that's fun, everything that makes us cry. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. This has been the Film Show on Broadcast Amsterdam.
And I'm going to leave you with a song from Back to the Future, which we missed on the cinema. So this is dedicated to them. And thank you, Elliot.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, I'm Kiko, and we'll see you soon.
Broadcast Amsterdam, your local radio station, 24/7 and on demand. Or on broadcastamsterdam.nl.